QSeed Youth is actually part of a larger project called QSeed. CQ Uni has partnered with Art Blue, some procurement consultants, and with the Smart Precincts to deliver capacity building workshops and education for small and medium enterprises in the city to take advantage of the massive procurement spend here, that a lot of which gets leaked out of the area, and we're really keen to see small businesses supported so that they can actually take advantage of the procurement spend.
Queensland Youth is trying to address the issue of youth unemployment in Townsville by creating maintainable and sustainable employment opportunities for young people through a co-design process.
I think it was a really good process in terms of understanding some challenges from the employer's perspective and from the young people's perspective, things that you may not really have realised, and how we can find some quick wins to change some of those things for that. So I think it's daunting for some young people to find employment and find meaningful employment, and they often are subject to bad experiences. So I think that understanding their point of view and how we can change some of those things, both from the employer perspective and from the young people, I think is really good.
So far, we've hosted about 5 different workshops bringing together young people, employers and youth support organisations to tackle the problem of youth unemployment collectively. So kind of working together to develop a solution that's fit for purpose from every different perspective, rather than just working with employers or rather than just working with youth. We've brought together everyone to try and pull out the different ideas and find that sweet spot in the middle that would work for everyone.
Before, I had the mindset of employees don't really care about their employers, but once I've heard them speak about how they feel as well, it kind of changed how I was thinking as well.
Throughout the co-design workshops, we use a lot of creative participatory activities to try and bring out the answers that young people already have to their own problems of youth unemployment. The co-design model is all about creating the space for the answers to surface, rather than the Office of Social Innovation saying we have all the answers and we're trying to test the solutions. We're really just trying to bring those out. Rather than asking people directly, how can we fix this absolutely massive problem? We break the problem down into smaller bite-sized chunks, like how might we look at transport? How might we look at retention rates? How might we look at young people's expectations of employment? How might we look at negative stereotypes around young people? And we develop some how might we statements as a collective. And then we get the group to vote on which statements to take forward into the next round. We use the democratic process of ticking a few boxes to see which ideas to take forward. I think an important part of this process as well is it wasn't just about employers understanding young people, but young people understanding employers as well, and what the impact is on employers if you aren't turning up to work, or the costs that it takes to train young people into new employment opportunities. So we're really seeking to understand each other.
They talk about the employment and how they would solve it for young people who are struggling. They come out from this school.
It was really good to have young people at the table, but also employers at the table as well. And I guess perspective changed around, what each of those sort of understood and the barriers between there. So it was really good to sort of see in-depth conversations around, both employees and trainees.
Everybody brings a unique set of skills, either whether it's from a young person's perspective or from an employer or different employers, past or present. So I think the real co-design element of it was some really good designs that came out of that, and challenges and some quick wins.
I hope that businesses have come to a greater understanding of what it is to be a young person in this city, and to really understand some of the difficulties around the employment journey, particularly around the pathway from leaving school to getting a first job, and to really working through the muck and the mire of what does it mean to start employment.
My favourite moment in the co-design process is just seeing throughout the workshops, throughout the 5 times that we've come together, seeing how much more confident young people are to express their ideas as the time has gone on, and really giving them a platform to have their voices heard in an area that maybe they wouldn't feel like they had the opportunity to have their voices heard previously, particularly with the power dynamics of employment. Having young people being able to stand up in front of employers and tell them how they feel about employment and tell them their experiences and be actively listened to is such a beautiful moment for me.
Sharing ideas, getting everybody's perspective and opinions, it's been really good, yeah.
My favourite moment of the process is undoubtedly seeing young people come together to talk about some of the issues that they've experienced with regard to employment and unemployment. And to see young people over the series of workshops coming out of their shells and really beginning to articulate their own needs and wants for the process, it's been a fantastic journey.
I hope the idea that we share to go far.
Keep doing this so more people, more like teenagers, can express how they feel and hear from their employers.
I definitely want to see the co-design implemented, and really organisations and departments really taking that knowledge on and seeing that, it's a new generation and things need to change the way we do business. So, yeah, I really hope that next year it really does hit the ground running.
I'm hopeful that we can get some of these solutions implemented with some employers and see how they go either way. And to help us see more young people transition into the workforce in some shape, way, or form. So really excited to see what happens in 2025.
I really hope that QSEED is the start of a much bigger conversation. We know that throughout this process, we can't fix 100% of the problem with a 2-year project. So I really hope that QSEED starts a lot of conversations. We have those 3 ideas that we're going to take forward into a piloting and testing phase in 2025. And I hope that's incredibly successful. But I also hope that it sparks different organisations to be able to come together to think about how they might be able to do this differently and start making small changes that have a big impact for the young people of Townsville.